welcome to another episode of Let's Talk. I'm Jade Harrell, and I'm joined by Jamie Ballantyne Dolby and Miss Amber Clear today. Hello, ladies.
How's it going, Jade?
How are you?
Fantastic, fantastic, and very good to see you. Hope you're having an amazing summer, ready for the fall to kick in.
I am. I'm going to call fall this year is summer 2.0 because I feel like I just want to extend it and have a little bit more fun. So we're going to do summer 2.0 this year.
See, I'm the opposite. I have pumpkins that I've picked. I picked 2 pumpkins out of my garden last night. I am ready. It is fall to me. I picked pumpkins. It's August. I'm decorating for Halloween.
You are already on the case. Already on the charge, as always, Miss Amber. Well, ladies, what are you loving right now?
I am absolutely loving my dogs. I think that dogs are absolutely amazing. I have an 18-year-old dog, and he is everything. I took him to the vet, and he's still doing, knock on wood, he's still doing good. He just brings me so much happiness and joy, and other people too. So, yeah.
Yeah, what about you, Jamie?
I'm loving good energy and champagne. I have my energy candle, I have my champagne in the back. That's all I'm loving all month long. Mm-hmm. It gets me in the mood for the kids going back to school and summer 2.0.
Summer 2.0. Cash me in on that coupon. I certainly wouldn't mind a little more time. I am loving right now just a chance to get some more sunshine before things may potentially close back up. Our guest today has held many titles in her career, from veterinarian to minister to wife to mommy, and she even held the title of Miss America 1990. This month, she added another title, and that is the title of author. Today on our show, we welcome former Miss Missouri and Miss America 1990, Dr. Debbye Turner Bell, to tell us about her new book. Welcome, Dr. Turner.
Thank you very much. I'm thrilled to be here. Hello to all of you.
Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Well, it is certainly an honor, and I'd like to just jump right in. What a whirlwind of experience and things to add to your list of great accomplishments and titles. Out of those, what would you say has been the most challenging and then most rewarding?
Oh my goodness. What a tough first question. Thank you very much, Jade.
Of course.
Well, I think I have to say.
I mean, we are speaking with Miss Missouri and Miss America. I know you've had some good ones.
Certainly the most rewarding is the title of mother. There is no more difficult job than to raise a child who hopefully will grow up to be responsible and productive and kind and compassionate and to fulfill her purpose on the earth. So that has to be the toughest job. And what I often say about parenting is the crazy thing about parenting is you don't know if you did a good job or not until it's too late. So I'm just praying that we're getting it right.
For sure. You don't get to walk up and be awarded a crown for that until well into the game. But speaking of crown, how were you able to align so many personal priorities in life along with such a public facing, broad and high responsibility as Miss Missouri and Miss America?
Yeah, first of all, really, most of it was really just by the grace of God, not most of it, all of it. I grew up a little skinny kid in Jonesboro, Arkansas, being raised by a single mom in a lower middle class home. I dreamt of being a veterinarian. I wanted to spay dogs and control high blood sugar and fat cats. I didn't aspire to be Miss America. It wasn't on my radar. And quite frankly, when I was a little girl, girls who looked like me were not seen on the Miss America stage, or if they were, they certainly didn't get the crown. So that just wasn't anywhere on my radar. To make the long story short, which of course I talk about in my book that's coming out, is I found out the Miss America program was the largest source of scholarship for women in the world. And the education that I wanted in veterinary medicine was really expensive.
Yeah.
But really at first was just a means to an end. And over time, I kind of got the hang of it. I was pretty good at it. And someone once said to me, you know, if you would buckle down and get serious about this, you might actually have a shot at Miss America. And so all my competitive juices began to flow, and it went from there. But it wasn't something that I ever thought that I would do, but I'm enormously grateful for it and grateful for the experience.
For sure. Well, I think about how, as a young girl, that you didn't see many women of color on the Miss America or local pageant stage, and now you have a daughter. As you walked into it, it happened to be in your pathway. What do you hold as valuable in carrying that title for other little girls?
Yeah, well, you know, the Miss America program still exists. In fact, it's celebrating its 100th anniversary this year. So it's lasted a long time. It is an iconic part of American culture. And I think there is still an important place. What I really love to say to questions like that is the experience afforded me skills that I still use today. Goal setting skills, perseverance, learning how to take what we call feedback now, but used to be criticism, you know, learning how to develop a thick skin and learn how to take those hard knocks, dust yourself off, get up and keep going. And so I'm really, really happy to have had those experiences. Do I aspire to see my daughter walk on the Miss America stage? If that's what she wants in her life, absolutely. I'll support her, and hopefully I'll have a tip or two that will be valuable to her. But I don't really have skin in that game. I want her to do what she was created to do. But what I can say about the program is it helps those women for whom they value the experience, develop goal setting skills, and more than that, communication skills. To be Miss America, you have to be a really good talker. You have to be able to walk into any room and have influence in that room right away. And that's what the program and the experience gave me. And I used that throughout my career over these last 30 years and still do today.
I believe by your book and the premise and honor that you're giving to faith, that walked along with you. Can you share how faith was an important role in this journey, and how you might also pay that forward to those that may be watching and learning from your influence?
Yeah, thank you so much for asking that question. I really appreciate it. The title of my book is Courageous Faith, and the subtitle is A Lifelong Pursuit of Faith Over Fear. And that really is the story of my life, of being able to trust God to do what only He could do, but being ready for me to do everything possible that I could do to set myself up for success. I love to tell, especially young girls, nothing I have came easily or quickly. It all came over time with a lot of perseverance, a lot of patience, a lot of tears, a lot of prayer, a lot of support. And had I given up at any point along the way, I would have missed some of the best things that have happened in my life. And so the reason I wrote the book and told my story, not just about pageants, and I understand not everyone loves pageants, that's cool with me. But I talk about what it took to get into and through veterinary medicine, and the journey of being single for a long time and desperately wanting to be married, and finally meeting the man that would become my husband, and even the multiple tries it took to have the beautiful daughter that I had. It all required perseverance and determination. And so what I'm hoping is when someone reads Courageous Faith, that hopefully they'll see a little bit of themselves in their own story and in my story, because I'm not unique or not special in any particular way. I'm regular like everybody else. But what I'm also hoping is that it will provide inspiration, that no matter what conventional wisdom says, no matter what popular opinion is, no matter how many times you've tried and failed, I believe we were all placed on this earth for a divine purpose, and that purpose is greatness. And our singular and most important responsibility is to keep going, not to give up. And that's so important now with what we've been through in this last 2 years with COVID and in economic shutdown and racial unrest, we have to find places of inspiration to keep going and to not give up and to not allow circumstances to defeat us. And so that's my greatest hope, is that in telling my story and relaying the lessons I learned through those many stories, that people will be inspired and will go after their own crown. And I don't mean to be Miss America, but I go after your purpose. Whatever it is you were placed on this earth to do, don't stop, dadgummit, until you get there.
You have fabulous presentation skills, and I just want to give you a giant kudos for that. And then I want to quickly ask, how much of an impact did winning Miss America have on the way other students treated you in veterinarian school?
Well, the beautiful thing about veterinary medicine is we deal with the animals more than the people, and the cows really didn't care that I had been Miss America. The dogs weren't impressed at all. And so that really was quite lovely. I had the great experience at the University of Missouri, which is where I went to veterinary school, that they were very supportive. The administration was supportive, the leadership was supportive, and by and large, most of my classmates were supportive as well. And you have to understand, it's a great question, Amber, but they knew me for 3 years just as another veterinary student before I made it to Miss America and was crowned. So, they knew the Debbie that had poop under her fingernails and wore boot waders and, up to here in my work as a veterinary student. And that prevailed, thankfully. And they weren't too thrown or put off by the Miss America title.
Good.
We are going to take a quick break, so don't go anywhere. We have more great inspiration and definitely motivation from Dr. Debbye Turner Bell when we come back. Stay close.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back. We've been speaking with author Dr. Debbye Turner Bell. So let's get back to it. Amber.
I have so many questions about searching for the right partner for yourself. And how did you discern who was just in it to just bag Miss America and who wanted to be with you as a person? How do you find the right intentions in a person?
Yes, I love that question, Amber, and I could talk the whole show just about that. I feel very passionately about that. First of all, I want to relay some advice that an old youth pastor gave me when I was much younger. He said, Debbie, don't pick someone that's good, just good to you. Pick someone that's good for you. And that became a defining philosophy for me. Also, I was raised by a woman, I'm raised by a strong, independent Black woman who was raising me to be a strong, independent Black woman. And so I was never taught that another person completed me, male or female, no matter what the relationship, that I was enough all by myself. And because I grew up in a household of faith, we believe that God had someone that was fashioned just for me, that I'm not perfect. He wouldn't be perfect, but we'd be perfect for each other. And I was determined as a teenager and even as a young adult to not compromise on that. And as much as, my ovaries began to tick as I got older, and as much as I wanted to have children, I just wouldn't compromise on that because, I do believe in marriage and I believe that it can be for a lifetime. You just got to pick the right person for the right reasons. So I'm really grateful. I had a couple of near misses. I dodged a couple of bullets, and I thank God every day that he didn't love me the way I loved him, because it wasn't the right one. And so my advice to those who want to be committed in what I call covenant relationship is wait on the person who is perfect for you, who allows you the space to be all of who you are and loves you because of that, not in spite of that.
That's a great answer.
Well, this is truly an honor. I've had a little bit of a fan out moment because I still remember you visiting my school, like right after you won Miss America. And it was like a huge deal. So I was telling my some of my friends that I went to school with, I was like, oh my gosh, got so many. They're like, you remember when she came to school? I was like, yes, I remember.
Oh, thank you.
This is great and full circle. And one of the things that we all talked about was, you remember how classy she was? And I think that is, really just kind of speaks to the impression that you left to us then and the impression that you're leaving to people now with your book and everything that you're doing. When people get done reading this book, how do you want them to recommend it to someone else? Who is this for and what can they really, really get out of it when they close that last page?
Oh, great. I love that question. I'm hoping that it's for everyone. We all have a human story that we are living, and my human story hopefully is relatable on some level to just about any reader. Of course, I come to it from a female perspective. So I think that readers that really can relate to the stories that I tell, whether it's talking about maintaining weight or, how to keep my hair in check out on the beach, trying to take pictures as the brand new Miss America, those are things that sometimes are unique to women. Probably there is that element there. But my heart's desire, though, Jamie, is that readers who want to know they're not alone in life. Life is wonderful and there are many beautiful experiences that we have, but it's hard. And it takes determination. It takes faith. And your faith doesn't have to be like my faith, but it does take faith really to be victorious in this life. And so what I'm hoping is that I can stir up the faith that is in the reader, that first of all, they are worthy of significance. And I talk a little bit about the difference between success and significance. And you have to read the book to get all of it. But I believe we should all pursue significance, that success comes as a result of that. And a lot of people don't think they're worthy of it. They don't think that their background or their mistakes qualify them for significance in life. And I'm just here to tell you that's a bald-faced lie. If you are still alive, your heart is beating and you're still breathing, then you were meant for greatness on this earth. And so my hope is the reader will be inspired by that. And also to know that we're not alone. We were not built to walk this life alone. Now, some of us prefer our own aloneness sometimes. I know I do, but we really were built to live in community. And I know that as I was developing, it helped to know that there was somebody else that had the same struggles that I was dealing with, that it wasn't just me, that I wasn't crazy. I was just experiencing life. And so I made the decision to be very transparent about some difficult and sometimes embarrassing and sometimes downright devastating parts of my life. So the reader will know you are not alone and you're not crazy. You're just living life. So let's lock arms and let's do this together. And my hope is that those who have tried and failed or tried and given up will get up, dust themselves off, and keep trying until they get it done.
I know that you talked about your time in Arkansas, but a lot of people in St. Louis, and our minds, you're a St. Louis favorite, you're Miss Missouri, and we feel like you belong to the city. Tell us some of your, memorable days as an anchor and living in St. Louis, because I know that, really you're the only veterinarian I remember growing up. I grew up with animals, but didn't really have a connection with that. So I kind of felt like we were all connected with you in a special way. Tell us about your time here in St. Louis and really what that meant to you.
Well, thank you for saying that. I so appreciate that. And I claim St. Louis too. So I'm glad that St. Louis claims me. It's mutual admiration.
Good.
Yeah, I had the unique experience of getting to know St. Louis from a really particular perspective, and that was being the first co-host, along with John Pertzborn, of Show Me St. Louis. So I was fairly new to the city when that show started, and I got to know and love St. Louis through my job at Show Me St. Louis, as we did stories around the city about the people of the city and the places. And so I got a unique perspective, I think. And I still consider St. Louis one of my homes. I didn't grow up there, but I spent more than a decade there. And some of my best friends are still in St. Louis. And nobody does toasted ravioli like St. Louis. And I haven't found frozen custard like Ted Drew's anywhere else in the world. So St. Louis still holds a very, very special place in my heart. And I get to come back every once in a while. And I always look forward to those trips. Although I will say that St. Louis is growing and developing. The last time I was there, it was just before COVID. So it was almost 2 years ago. I had to use my GPS to get a couple of places because I didn't recognize. I was like, what happened here? That means the city's doing well.
That's a good thing. That is a good thing.
I hope it's as reflective as the growth of the people, their spirit, and their determination toward the future. Dr. Bell, I want to ask you one final question. For the ladies that are watching, in finding our significance when we're in our places of solitude, how can you help us find significance within ourselves when we don't have those reflective feedback or criticisms that may affirm or help confirm who we are as worthy?
Yeah. Thank you for that question. And it's a deep one. I don't know if I can do it justice, but I'll take a shot at it. I'll just say this. There are certain things that we have to decide that we know. And I really believe that faith is a decision. It is not a feeling. It is not an emotion, because feelings ebb and wave, and they come and they go. So we cannot base faith on how we feel. We must make a clear decision. This is what I believe about myself. This is what I believe I'm capable of. Okay, now what do I need to do to walk that out? So for someone who finds themselves, to use your words, Jade, in solitude, the first thing I would say is you got to talk to yourself. And if no one else can encourage you, encourage yourself. I am worthy. I am not what has happened to me. What has happened to me is a circumstance. It is not a character indicator. And so I can pull myself out of this circumstance. And for me, I believe that happens best by faith in God. He helps us do that. But we make those decisions, and then we have to act on that faith. There's a scripture that says faith without works is dead. So we can't just say, I believe I'm great, and then sit and eat Doritos all day long. We got to do something about it. So we have to take those steps. And I believe that the easiest way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. You can't worry about step 10. Take step 1. If you don't have the finances to go back to school, then take the baby step of finding out what schools would be best for you. Take the qualifying exam. Go to community college. Don't despise small beginnings. Where you are, take the step that you can. And it's been my experience that when we're willing to do that, that doors open for us. We meet someone that says, hey, did you know about that scholarship? Or, oh, this is coming then. But it doesn't happen in a vacuum on our couch in front of our favorite streaming network. We got to get out there. We got to take a step of faith, and then we got to put action behind it.
Absolutely. And if I may quote you, don't give up, dadgummit.
That's right.
Dr. Bell, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to speak with us about your newest venture. For more information about Dr. Debbye Turner Bell and how you can get a copy of her book, courageous faith, be sure you visit DebbieTurnerBell.com. And after you check her out, be sure to find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, or visit us at stltv.net. I'm Jade Harrell for Jamie Valentine Dolby and Miss Amber Clear. We'll see you next time for another episode of Let's Talk. We're not, teleprompter stuck.
Oh, what a day.
It is indeed, baby Clear. I am loving how we stay so positive in the midst of,
You know
all
what?
our mess.
A tree's roots don't go strong without a little storm and a little wind. So our roots are growing strong this year.
Today on our show, we welcome former Miss Missouri and Miss America 1990, Dr.